to Echolink TECHLINK conference.
Welcome. That was on my old XP that crashed in the hard drive, and of course everything I had on the hard drive was gone. So that blew that as far as trying to get a hold of him. That I do remember. Anyway, let me get off here because the net's going to start. 10-5 HQ, 7-3, my friend. Talk to you later. I'll let you know what I find out.
Yeah, you have my email address, and if not, it's on qrz.com under my call sign. rlbagshaw at iinet.net.au.
Okay, I'll have to change my library. All right, clearing the net. 10-5 HQ.
Thank you, Bob. Yeah, we'll listen out here. Babysitting the young one today. BK 6BQQ, good morning. And good evening to Mark, VE3MIS. Good to see you in here. I guess the net starts here in a few minutes. It's 8:27 a.m. here on the 8th of June. My goodness, time flies. And there's that Mr. Gary fella.
Good evening. This is Victor Alpha 3, Alpha Zulu Alpha, and my name is Brian. I am your controller tonight for the Mississauga Amateur Radio Club Tuesday Night Net. This net is available on the club's VHF repeater and Echolink between 20:30 hours and approximately 21:45 hours local time in Mississauga, Ontario, Canada. It is also streamed live on YouTube, where archives of previous nets can be found. Stand by, please. To participate in the net on the VE3MIS VHF repeater, tune 145.430 megahertz with a negative 600 kilohertz offset and a 103.5 hertz tone. To participate on Echolink, connect to the TechLink conference node number 9229. To listen live on YouTube and comment, search YouTube for VE3MIS. Stand by, please. If you would like to find out more about the Mississauga Amateur Radio Club, visit our website at www.ve3mis.ca. That's Victor Echo 3 Mike India Sierra Charlie Alpha. Our email address is ve3mis@rac.ca. That's Victor Echo 3 Mike India Sierra @Romeo Alpha Charlie Charlie Alpha. Stand by, please. The purpose of this net is to pass news and views along to members and visitors of the club. It also provides experience to volunteer operators in net and emergency operating procedures. All check-ins are welcome, and we especially invite non-members to join in. Stand by, please. The Mississauga Amateur Radio Club meets virtually via Zoom conferencing software on the second and fourth Thursday of each month. Our meetings emphasize comradeship and learning and are open to guests and visitors. See our website to learn how to join virtual meetings. Non-members who wish to attend should email ve3mis@rac.ca to obtain instructions for virtual admission. Stand by, please. Well, before we get to the check-ins in a little bit, just a few little reminders for the net. There is a meeting, a general meeting, via Zoom this week for the Mississauga Amateur Radio Club. This is the second Thursday of June. This week, at least, has the second Thursday of June. Just a reminder that on this repeater, usually on the RF side, tomorrow, between 11 a.m. and noon, the repeater is used for the Cross Canada IRLP net. And if it isn't dialed in, dial it in at IRLP 9013. On Friday night, this repeater is used for the TechNet, and that's between 8 and 10 p.m. local time. And if it isn't dialed in, if you get here and it's not dialed in, you can dial it in at 9229. Stand by, please. Well, this month there are a couple of events worth reminding people about, and actually one of them is this weekend, I believe, and that is the ARRL VHF contest between June 11th and 13th. See the contest section of the ARRL website for details, but that is a contest that challenges you to make the best use of your VHF radio. In June 25th to 26th is the ARRL's field day, and there's actually already some planning going ahead for field day at the Mississauga Amateur Radio Club. So if you're a member, keep an eye on the group's I.O. conference for more details. Stand by, please. This evening there is no question. But a little bit later on, there will be a special event for those within reach of the VE3MIS UHF C4FM repeater, and that event will just be the transmission of a picture. I will give warning and then switch to a second HT to continue the net as the picture is transmitted. But if you have a System Fusion receiver, or sorry, HT, capable of receiving a picture, which I guess would be an FT2 at a minimum, I think. FT2, FT3, or the 400, FT400. If you have that, then you can tune to the UHF frequency for the repeater and see if you can catch that picture that's going to go out. I'll have to do a little bit of juggling here to switch from one radio to another, but I'll give you a fair warning beforehand. Stand by, please. The net will be conducted in 2 rounds, a check-in round and a 7-3 round. During the check-in round, check-ins will be called in 2 broad groups of traffic, short-time check-ins and general check-ins. Emergency check-ins will be taken at any time. Sometimes mobile, RF, and Echolink check-ins, or digital I should say, may be called by themselves to reduce the risk of doubling. Please listen carefully and check in with the group that best matches your circumstances. Finally, avoid transmitting more than 1 minute or so without keying up to prevent system timeouts. Stand by, please. Okay, and again, your controller for tonight's net is me, Brian. My call sign is Victor Alpha 3 Alpha Zulu Alpha. When checking in, please announce your call sign using phonetics, followed by your first name. And we are going to start with RF short time. RF short time. If you're out there on RF, within RF distance to the VE3MIS repeater, and you'd like to check in to get in and out, now it's time to do it. Don't worry, Echolink, you're coming next. So short time RF only, please. Come now, please.
Go 3, Juliet, Mike, Yankee. Murray?
Roger, Roger, Mike. Sorry, Juliet, Mike, Yankee, and that's Murray. VE3JMY, gotcha, Murray. For RF, let's go to Echolink and collect Echolink short time. If you're out there on Echolink or other digital, and you'd like to get in, one and done, so to speak, won't be here for the whole thing. That's fine. Echolink only. Come now, please. Short time with your call sign followed by your first name.
Net control, please copy Victor Kilo 6, Bravo, Quebec, Quebec. Reg here, Western Australia. Good morning.
Kilo Foxtrot 5, Hotel Golf Uniform. Bob, Mesquite, Texas. I'm going to be here for the first round, so I'm not real short, but I don't think I'll make it for the second round. Brian, K5HQ.
Okay, net control, acknowledges 2 check-ins there, KF5HGU. Okay, that's fine, Bob, that's okay. I heard your note on that check-in. And VK6BQQ Reg, good to hear you. Got you on the list here. And I guess let's go to Murray. We'll go to Murray first, then we'll visit Reg and Bob, and then we'll move on from there. So, Murray, hope all is well with you. A bit of rain today, actually quite a bit of rain today. And we'll pass it to you. Net control to VE3JMY.
3AZA, VE3JMY in the group. Good evening, Brian, and all aboard. Nice to be on the net. And yeah, the rain was refreshing, and picked my spots for gardening, and out to the range, smack a few golf balls, and had to be picking the spots, like I say, and thanks for the net, Brian. Back to you.
VE3JMY, VA3A today, net control returning. Okay, Murray, good to hear from you. And it looks like you're getting ready for the summer. A little bit of practice, and before you know it, you'll be out there on the fairways, which should be very green. I don't know what they're like today, but they'll be a little bit greener if this continues. That's for sure. Okay, thank you for joining us, Murray, on the round. Let's go to Reg, VK6BQQ. Reg, good to hear from you. Sorry if I sound funny. I had just a lousy cold last week. Oh my goodness, I had to take a day off work. It was awful. Not taking a day off work, just the cold. VA3A today, over to Reg, VK6BQQ.
VE3AZA in the group, VK6BQQ, fantastic. Yeah, the colds aren't very good. I got a bit of a sniffle myself, and this morning our daughter's out, she's in daycare and doing her thing, so we're babysitting the 14-year-old one. Young one, and having fun with him, but playing radio too, so all is good at this end. We got some weather moving in according to what they're saying, so it looks like the drops are going to come, and we're going to have a week of it, so we'll just see how that all works out. But other than that, yep, Friday night we're continuing, and this week 1,064 weeks consecutive on the air, so for those out there that can join, we'd love to hear from you on a Friday night, 8 o'clock your time, Eastern Standard. So all is good at this end. Back to net. Great to have you aboard. VK60QQ Australia. Good morning.
VK6BQQ, VA3AZA, net control returning. Okay, Reg, good to hear from you too. So you're going to get some rain. Well, we've had about, I don't know, 25 to 50 millimeters was in the forecast. I don't know if we got that much here in Mississauga, but some places seem to get quite a bit. I thought there was something in the news about this afternoon about southern Ontario getting washed out. It was sort of heavy here, but I don't think we probably didn't get the worst of it. I don't know who got the worst of it, but it's the time when all the creeks will be flowing. Like if you go for a walk in the park, all of a sudden that little creek, that I walk by or walk over, a little bridge goes over it. It's not such a little creek anymore. It looks kind of scary for a little bit, but then it calms down. Anyway, good to hear you, and let's see. Yeah, just a little reminder for the TechNet, which is here we can participate in that over RF through VE3MIS VHF, and that's this Friday. Local time for us is 8 to 10 p.m., but of course for you it's the other end of the clock. Stand by, please. Okay, so let's see. Who is next on the list here? It looks like it's Bob. Bob, hope all is well with you. Good to hear from you. And I don't know if you got any of that rainy weather. You guys get some terrible storms down there. Oh my goodness. I mean, there's nothing here compared to that. All those hurricanes coming off the Gulf. Oh boy. Anyway, let's see how Bob's doing. Net control to KF5 HTU.
Well, good evening, Brian. KF5HU. Well, we're in our particular location. We have been fortunate. We need some rain. We've had some rain, and we could use some more. But it seems like right now most of the bad weather is either going north or south of us, and we've kind of been in a trough where it's missing us. But we are getting hot. We're up to 96 today, and that's well above what our normal would be for this time of year. That's normally starting in the middle of July, going into August. We do get up about that, so it's been hot and humid, and we could stand a little bit more rain, but some places have gotten as much as 3-4 inches in a short period of time, but that has not happened for us. Other than that, we're doing good. Always enjoy the net, and I'll be here through the first round and as long as I can for the other. Take care, my friend. V3AZA, K5HU, and 73 Dolph.
KF5HU, VA3AZA, net control returning. Okay, Rob, good to hear from you. Wow, 96, that's pretty warm. Yeah, some of those downpours you're talking about there sound pretty destructive. So we get that once in a while, if you happen to be under one of these massive thunderstorms, that occurs. But I always hope I'm not too near that kind of thing. It sounds kind of warm. But maybe now you're in a kind of divide where everything's going north and south, like you say. Oh well, if you need the water, well maybe it'll come. You never know. Sometimes those systems are a little bit unpredictable. Okay, I'm just going to take a quick standby. Well, let's see if there's anyone else out there who is short time only, and we'll try for our 4 Rocco link, Anyone else? Short time coming out, please. Your call sign spelled phonetically, followed by first name. Okay, net control returning. Didn't hear anyone. So let's move on to. Let's see. What should we do? We should do general check-ins. RF. We'll do that. If you are out there on RF, within reach of the VE3MIS repeater over RF, and you would like to check in to the general check-in round of the Mississauga Amateur Radio Club Tuesday Night Net, come now, please, with your call sign spelled phonetically, followed by your first name. RF only, please.
Victor Echo 3, Delta Bravo November, Don in Kleinberg.
Alpha 3, Golf Delta Zulu, Gary.
Victor Echo 3, X-Ray Bravo Hotel, O'Brien.
Victor Alpha 3, Hotel Echo Sierra, Mark.
Okay, net control returning. Well, we got quite a few check-ins there on the RF side. So I'll just do a little readback here, and then I think I might call for the Echo Link after the readback. I'll get a big list going here. So let's see. I heard last VA3HES, and that's Mark. And then I heard VE3XPH, and that's Brian. I heard VA3GDZ, and that's Gary. And I heard VE3DBN, that's Don up in Kleinberg. So that was the RF check-in group. Let's take a look now for Echolink. Is there anyone else on Echolink who would like to check into the general check-in for the Mississauga Amateur Radio Club Tuesday Night Net? If you're out there on Echolink or other digital, maybe bridging in through Echolink, come now please with your call sign spelled phonetically, followed by first name.
VA3 Kilo Whiskey Zulu, Kilo Echo November, VA3 KWZ 10.
Okay, net control acknowledges VA3 KWZ, and that's Ken on the Echolink side. I guess we'll start with this list, and then we'll go looking for some more a little while after we get through this. Let's take it to Don. And Don, VE3DBN, hope all is well with you. You sound pretty good there. You're getting in, no problem. And how was the rain for you? Was it worse than for us? For us, it was tolerable. At times, it was heavy. You know, down near the lake, it got worse. When I was driving to work today, it was sort of. I'm a little bit further away from the lake, but when I drove down there towards work, it was pretty heavy. Anyway, let's see how Don's experience is. Net control to VE3DBN.
Victor Echo 3, Delta Bravo November here. Rain was a nuisance, but it wasn't too bad up here at all. And temperature-wise, we're, I think about average for the year, around 20 degrees or something. But it wasn't pool weather, so I wasn't out by the pool this afternoon, unfortunately. Beyond that, I don't have a great deal to say. I know. If anybody has had an experience with the 5100, an Icon 5100, trying to do crossband, I just wanted to know, it's very easy to set up, but I just seem to have some problems getting by with it. So if anybody has some experience, maybe they can let us know and just tell us what they did to get it set up. Beyond that, I'll pass it back to you, and I'll be around for the second call. Back to you.
VE3DBN, this is VA3 AZA, net control returning. Okay, Don, interesting. So we'll, if there's anyone out there with some experience on crossbanding with the 5100, the Icon 5100, maybe they can pass on some information on setting it up. You know what? I have a feeling that Mark VA3HES has done that But I don't know. I don't want to put him on the spot. Maybe he'll have something to say. I have one, but you know what? I've never used it in crossbanding. I had a Kenwood that I used for crossbanding. It was a little complicated to set up. Not hugely, but a little bit. But maybe Mark has something to say about the 5100. Okay, Don. Let's try. Thank you very much for joining us on the first round there. We'll keep you on the list for a second go. And let's try Gary, VA3GDZ. Gary, I hope all is well with you. You're coming in RF, so I guess you're in town somewhere. We'll pass it to you. Net control to VA3GDZ.
Good evening there, Brian, and hi to all on frequency. Yeah, you can't pin me down, Brian. I'm here, I'm there, I'm everywhere. Probably one and done. I'm going to try to listen on YouTube. But you know, there's too many nets on Tuesday nights. I know of 4, including this one. And the trouble is, I only have 2 ears, so can't do them all. Actually, I'm connecting to hear about the snow in Australia. I heard Reg in there earlier. I don't see the ham conference connected yet. I'm looking at it on YouTube. So hopefully they'll come in. There's some long-winded people checking in there, and then they usually switch it over to this net. So I hope they come in so you can make some more contacts there. What else is new? Oh, yeah, too many nets. I talked about that. Oh, you're going to be transmitting a picture over the radio. Gee, that's interesting. I'm glad you're trying innovative new things like that. And it better be a really great picture, but keep it clean, eh? Hi. In other news, man, there's too many things these days. With COVID really going down consistently, it's almost back to the lowest we've ever had it. There's so many things like concerts and sporting events and sports clubs and stuff. And I've even got 2 extended family members who have been threatened to go back and worse in purpose. Let me not say threatened. Vigorously encouraged to go back to work in person. So that's changing quite rapidly. Anyways, I had to pop in to say hi, and I'll try to listen for a little while. But as I said, there's too many nets, and I usually can't stay for the second round, but I'll try to listen. Back to net control. This is Victor Alpha 3 Golf Delta Zulu, Gary in Toronto.
VE3MIS.
VA3GDZ, VA3GDZ net control returning. And Gary, good to hear from you. And very interesting. Oh yes, we have a picture we'll be transmitting, and well, of course it'll be a very fine picture there, Gary. We do have rules in this organization. You needn't fear. The thing is, it's going to be on a system fusion. It's the only way I can really do it. But for those of you who might be listening and are able to switch over to the UHF frequency other repeater, you might be able to catch it. Now I can't, Gary. You know what? It's the first. I've done this before. I've sent it, but I've never been on the receiving end of it. So I watched a YouTube video about what should happen, and I don't think if you're tuned into the UHF on System Fusion, I don't think you have to do anything. You might, just have to sort of tune in and listen and have the radio listening, and then I think the radio will just pick up the fact that it's getting a picture rather than voice automatically. But anyway, so that's the way it's going. Yeah, a lot of people are being forced back. I hear Elon Musk is forcing people to go back to Tesla. But I was kind of thinking I'd be careful about doing that, because there are lots of other companies that need lots of managers with EV experience, but never. You might want to be. He might want to be careful what he wishes for. Anyway, good to hear you. And if you're here for a second go, it's fine. If not, that's okay too, Gary. I'm just going to take a quick standby here. Okay, and that brings us to the next call sign on the list, which is Brian. And I do see there might be a couple of check-ins there. I see them in a text. I'll get to those in a second. I'll put you on the list. I see there's VK2DY there and VK3HJK. So I think I'll put you 2 on the list there. But let's go to Brian first. Net control to VE3XBH. Brian, hope all is well.
VA3AZA, VE3XBH. Good evening, Brian and the group. Not too much going on here. All is well. I hope everybody else is keeping well. Kind of a soggy day today, but that's okay. The grass probably needed the water, and certainly some of the vegetables that we have We don't have a big garden or anything. We've just got some tomato plants and some herbs and stuff like that planted, but they could use the water, so all good there. But other than that, not much going on, Brian, so I'll just send it back to you, and we'll be listening along. VA3AZA, VE3XBH.
VE3XBH, VA3AZA, net control returning. Okay, Brian, good to hear from you. Oh well, it sounds like get a few little things done around the place, and so wait for the weather to improve slightly. But you know what I did? I had trouble with my hose. It didn't work. There was some problem with the faucet, I guess. But anyway, the plumber came and fixed it last week, and so finally I had an opportunity to flush my outboard. And so I hooked up the hose to the outboard and flushed the cooling passages, and it's not heavily used. It's not used as all water, so it's not a big deal. So I was really happy about that. But next I'll have to use the hose to water the front lawn. Everyone knows that you repair the hose so that you could water the front lawn as opposed to flush the cooling passages in your outboard. Well, anyway, at least that's what we always say. But yeah, so that's my next task too. Okay, Brian, let's see. We'll go down. Thank you for coming in on this round. We'll keep you around for keep you on the list for the next round. And let's try Mark, VA3HES, net control to VA3HES.
Good evening, Brian and all on net. Mark here in Mississauga, Victor Alpha 3, Hotel Echo Sierra. A couple quick things to report. First of all, yes, we are live on YouTube yet again. And next week, unfortunately, due to a business trip, I will not be able to live stream to net next week. I got a couple exciting things to talk about. Number one, this coming weekend is the June Arl VHF contest, and today I got texted a picture. We came in first place in Canada as a limited multi-operator, and we received the plaque. So we got some fresh hardware for the wall in the club station. Very excited about that. And at the end of the month, June 25th and 26th, we will be at Henwick Meadows here in Mississauga for Field Day. We have a number of operators that are going to be coming to operate with us, and if you would like to even stick your head in and say hello and see what it's all about, please, 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 I encourage you to come on down. That's all for this round, Brian, and I'll be here for the second round. Back to you.
VA3HES, VA3AZA, net control returning. Okay, Mark, sounds excellent. Everything's getting geared up there for Field Day in Fenwick Meadows, I guess. And thank you very much for managing the YouTube live stream for us. That's really cool, and it's another way for people to kind of make contact, so we really appreciate that. Okay, let's see. Let's try Ken in, oh my goodness, I'm just watching the, actually just before I get to you, Ken, I'm just going to acknowledge too, I see LU1DYE in the text box for Echolink, and I'll put you on the list if you want to come in. Anyway, let's go to VA3KWZ. That's Ken. Ken, hope all is well with you. Over to you.
Víctor, Kilo 3, Hotel Julia, Quebec. Esta es la Lima 1 Delta Yankee Eco, desde Buenos Aires, Argentina. John todavía está por ahí para ver si podemos cruzar un par de cambios y confirmar el contacto. Un gusto sería cruzar un par de cambios contigo.
Okay, I think that was LU1DYE. Buenos dias. I don't, unfortunately, that's about the extent of my Spanish. I think that's Spanish. Anyway, you're welcome to certainly participate in the net. And this net's open to anyone. It's a Mississauga Amateur Radio Club Tuesday Night Net. We come out of Mississauga, Ontario, Canada, and kind of reach all over the world through Echolink, and we kind of reach locally, I guess, through our repeater, which is VE3MIS here in Mississauga, Ontario, Canada. Okay, let's see. That was LU1DYE, and let's go back to VA3KWZ. VA3KWZ. I think you're still there. Anyway, we'll give him a try. Ken, if you're there, come on in. Net control to VA3KWZ. Okay, nothing heard from VA3KWZ. Let's try Robert. Robert, I saw you in the text box, so I'm going to give you a chance to jump in right now if you want. Net control to VK2DY.
Okay, there we go. Guys, get rid of those dreadful headphones. They don't work well on Echo Link at all. Anyway, yes, this is Robert, Victor Kilo 2, Delta Yankee in Kellyville Ridge, New South Wales, but all part of the urban sprawl that is Sydney. Well, we got winter temperatures here. My thermometer recorded 2.8 degrees Celsius. That's crunchy grass weather, I think. But at any rate, it was cold this morning. Man, oh man, and it's still cold. It's only 12 degrees Celsius. I don't know. I don't think I could take those kinds of temperatures you get up there in Canada anymore. I used to live up in North America where there was winter, but I couldn't take that anymore. This is too cold for me. Anyway, other than that, I told the story about a dozen times, but we haven't done this yet. We have a show down here, light show down here called Vivid, V-I-V-I-D. Basically, as it gets close to the shortest day of the year, a lot of these winter shows and light shows and that spring up. And and here in Sydney, they light up the Harbour Bridge, they light up the House of Parliament, they light up the Opera House and a number of other monuments. In fact, pretty much everything in Darling Harbour in the Central Business District has some kind of light flashing on it at this time of year. So it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. And they have a drone show, which is also very exciting. I actually like the drones now. They're much more exciting, I think, than fireworks. Fireworks are sort of noisy, and the drones are kind of fun, actually. So I approve of drone shows. But anyway, I went saw that, and I also took a little bit of a ride on a ship in Sydney Harbour and saw the lights from the harbour water. So, which was also quite beautiful. It was just a lovely view. So that was my big excitement for the week. VK2DY, back to net.
Oh, VK2DY, VA3AZA, net control returning. Okay, Robert, sounds kind of neat. You know what? You mentioned that drone show. I guess the drone light show. I've never seen that before. I didn't realize that people did that. I've seen Chinese lanterns as a kind of fire. I don't know if you've ever seen those. They're like little balloons. They're not really balloons. I guess they operate on the same principle as a hot air balloon, but they float off and into the sky, and they're like little lights in the sky. Pretty neat. Quite interesting. But I've never seen drones. I mean, I've seen a drone, but I've never seen them used as a show like that. It sounds kind of fun. Okay, well, thank you for joining us in the first round. Maybe you can tell us more about that on the second round, too, if you're around there, Robert. And let's go to John, VK3HJK. John, if you're still there, come on in. Net control to VK3HJK.
HJK is, but all the HJQ will do. Oh boy, hang on, let me turn the squawk box down. Anyway, good afternoon, good evening. What is it? What time is it? 11:04 a.m. over here down under. Absolutely freezing, 8 degrees C. And not much else to report. Thanks for the net, Brian, for Catcher HJQ.
VK3HJQ, VA3A, net control. Oh, John, I'm sorry. You know what? As I was saying that K the second time, I thought, it's Q. Oh, well. There was a little disconnect there between my brain and my mouth. Quite a frequent occurrence, actually, in my life. But in any case, good to hear from you. 8 degrees. Well, that's practically bikini weather. So up here, gee. So I wouldn't complain too much. But sounds like, you're kind of into the winter thing anyway over there. All right. Well, good to hear from you, John. I'm going to keep you on the list. And I see VA3KWZ in the chat box, and I'm going to try to get him again here. Oh no, I'm wrong. It's not VA3. No, it's VK2WAY. VK2WAY. I see him there. I'm gonna see if he wants to jump in here. Okay, VK2WAY. If you want to come in, please do so. Net control to VK2WAY. Over to you.
Not net control, Victor Kilo 2 Whiskey Alpha Yankee to the group, and g'day Robert and John over there from the other Aussies, and much the same as what John was saying. Cold. Woke up to 9 degrees here at home this morning. Not sure how low we got overnight because the WX dropped out, so I think it was too cold for 917 megahertz. Hi. That's up and running again now. Let's see, I went out QRP on the weekend with a lot of fun. That was my first QRP experience, and made I think it was about an 800-mile contact on 5 watts from the park not too far away. So that was a lot of fun, and tonight planning on, Robert there, 2DY mentioned the Vivid light shows. Tonight we're planning, if all goes to plan and the weather stays okay, a roller skate with roller derby folk around the harbour, and hopefully we'll have some video of that, so check out some of the light shows from a roller skating point of view. Anyway, thanks for having me in, thanks for running the net. I think it was Brian I heard there, I didn't catch your call, but I just brought up Anvil while having my morning coffee, and was listening along to the net, enjoying my coffee. So thank you for hosting, and back to Net Control. This is Victor Kilo 2, Whiskey Alpha Yankee, Jared in Sydney.
VK2WAY, VA3AZ Net Control returning. Okay, excellent. Good to hear about that contact, 800 miles on 5 watts. That's pretty neat. I always like that with the QRP stuff. You never know you never know what you're going to find. You always think that with low power nothing's going to happen, but I guess the conditions are favorable enough, and you can certainly make those contacts. I know I've had some surprising ones as well at relatively low power. All right, well, thank you for joining us. And let's see if there's anyone else out there. I'm kind of at the end of the list. I'm going to do my little special event here in a little bit if we've got everyone in who wants to be in for the first round. But if there's anyone else out there who would like to join in at the end of the first round, the Mississauga Amateur Radio Club Tuesday Night Net, come out, please do call sign spelled phonetically followed by your first name.
Alpha 3, Whiskey Mike, John in Niagara.
Kilo Yankee 4, November Bravo, KY4NB, Scott in Memphis, Tennessee.
Okay, let's see, we got 2 calls there, 2 call signs. I think it was KYN4NB. May have made a mistake on that. I think the name was Scott. You can correct me, and I made just a giant mess writing it down here. I don't know why, but KNY4 possibly. Anyway, don't worry, we got you marked here somewhere, and you'll be number 2, and number 1 is John VA3WM. That's John in Niagara. John, we'll go to you first. Good to hear from you. And I'm gonna try transmitting a picture on the UHF side in a little bit. I don't know if you've got your radio handy. You might be able to receive it, but anyway, we'll pass it to you. VA3AZA over to VA3WM.
VA3AZA, this is John Victor Alpha 3 Whiskey Mike in Niagara, where it was kind of a soggy day today, but then the sun came out, and so it ended quite nice actually. But all the rain that we had, boy, the grass is growing, which is nice. Nice green carpet out there. And okay, you mentioned sending me a picture. Okay, how are you going to do that? Over.
VA3WM, VA3A today. John, I'm going to send it through System Fusion. I'm going to transmit it. I've got it on my HT, and I'm going to transmit it through VE3MIS UHF. And I'm hoping it will work. I don't know. Maybe you have some insights on that. Net control over to VA3WM.
Amateur radio repeater VE3MI.
I do not, and I'm using my Yaesu FT60 analog HT. I don't know, do I have to turn my 400 on, and will I see it show up on the screen, or I'm not sure, or is it going to drop into a mailbox on the VE3 R&R room, or lots of options here, Brian. Over.
VA3WM, VA3A is at 8 net control. I think, John, when I transmit it, I think that, well, yeah, so if your FT400 is just tuned to VE3MIS UHF, and I believe it'll just be handled automatically, and it will show on your screen. I think that's what's going to happen, but I have to admit I'm not sure. I'm just going from what I saw in the YouTube video. I don't think you have to do anything. I think the information form will be detected by the radio, and you'll just see it show up. It might take a few seconds, though, as you probably know. It takes a while to transmit it, but I don't think you have to do anything. Whether it gets saved, I believe, will be up to you. I think you have the option after it's received. So I think it kind of goes to a buffer first, and then after that, which shows on the screen, and then after that, it's up to you what to do with it. You can just delete it, throw it away. But I think that's how it's going to happen. I'll pass it back to you. Net control to VA3WM.
Brian, that's interesting. Requires a bit of coordination. One, the radio has to be turned on, and two, we have to tune it to the MIS UHF DR1X frequency. And yeah, let's try that sometime. Not in a good position to do it right now because I'm upstairs with the HT. And I'm actually coming in through the All-Star Bridge into the Echolink network. Thanks to those guys I think it's John, VE3HJQ, that has helped make that happen. And I'm sure with others as well. I'm using the Wales conference. Not the kind you go out and fish for, but it's Wales, WALES, and it seems to be working pretty good. Back to you, Brent.
VA3WM, VA3A is at 8, net control returning. Okay, John. Yeah, no, that's fine. Don't worry. If it's not possible to set it up, that's okay. Well, for whoever might be out there and able to listen to it, they can give it a try. But yeah, I noticed that on the Echolink screen that you're coming in the long way. But I guess that's it's like quite a trip there, all the way back to Mississauga. So it's sort of interesting. Okay, well, let's see. Let's go now to, I believe it's KY4NB, but you can correct me. And I think the name was Scott, but you can correct me on that too. Anyway, net control to KY4NB.
Hi there, Brian, and everybody on the net. This is Scott, Kilo Yankee 4, November Bravo, KY4NB. That is correct on the call sign. Kevin comes up as the first name on QRZ, and I go by Scott, but I'll answer to either name or any other name for that matter. Hi, it's my wife's got lots of names for me, some good and some bad. But anyway, just listening from Memphis, and I've been listening to some other nets, and I thought, let me see what's going on the ham network, and so yeah, thank you, John and Robert and the Australians, and I check in with them if I can during the week or whenever I can, and So anyway, we love the Aussies, we love y'all, we love everybody. So just sitting outside enjoying this relatively cool weather in Memphis. It's about 23 degrees Celsius or 74 degrees Fahrenheit. I'll be listening. Back to you, Brian, and the group KY4NB.
KY4NB, VA3 net control returning. Okay, Scott, excellent to hear from you. Very good to hear from you. Glad you're able to make it in. And anyone's welcome to join this net. And it sounds like I think you know some of the people who participate here too, and that's always nice. So there's quite a community here connected through Echolink and other digital means, and nice to hear. Nice to hear from you. And it sounds like Memphis 23 is not bad. That's pretty comfortable. I don't know what it is out here. I'm in Mississauga, which is sort of near Buffalo, New York, a little bit west. Tiny Memphis to Toronto, Ontario. I don't know what temperature is now, but it looks kind of nice out there. It's I see the leaves blowing in the sort of late evening. Pretty nice, but just sort of the beginning of summer for everyone, for you, for us. Of course, it's not for our friends in Australia. That's not the case, and we really feel sorry for John. VK3HJQ. We know he doesn't like that cold weather, so anyway, just joking there, John. Okay, is there anyone else who wants to join us at the end of the first round of the Mississauga Amateur Radio Club Tuesday Night Net? Come now, please. Okay, nothing heard on that call at the end of the first round, and I think at this point I am going to try to transmit my picture. And I'm going to have to do a little bit of juggling here, so I've got to switch radios. But if you've got System Fusion Radio and you're able to receive, you might want to tune it to communicate with the VE3MIS VHF repeater. You might want to tune to that, and I'm going to start transmitting that image. It'll probably take a few seconds. While it's transmitting, I have another radio here, and maybe we'll go back to the top of our list. So we'll just take a quick standby. I'll give you a few seconds to switch over to the UHF frequency, and we'll give this a go. Net control is just going to stand by.
VE3MIS repeater.
Okay, this is Victor Alpha 3, Alpha Zulu Alpha, and I think I had a little bit of trouble with my backup radio for some reason. Maybe the transmit frequency was a little bit funny, but I have transmitted that image now, and for those of you who might be on System Fusion, maybe you have received it. Anyway, let's go back up to the top of our list, and had a few call signs here. I wasn't sure whether they were going to be here on the 7-3 round, but we'll give them a call anyway. Let's try VE3JMY, and that's Murray. Murray, if you're there, come on in for 7-3. Over to you.
Brian, I moved to the basement. No copy.
VE3JMY, VE3 today. Not bad, Murray. There's a little bit of bacon frying there. Not much though. I can make you out, and your copy is readable. Over to you.
Very fine net. Appreciate it. Just on the handy-talkie in the basement. Good luck with the picture. I wonder about your cat coming on last week. That was pretty neat. Have a great week. VA3AZA, VE3JMY, 7-3. VE3JMY, VA3A today. Murray, okay, same to you. Have a good week. And yeah, we'll see if anyone picked it up. It seems to have transmitted. So, but I had a little trouble with my other HTs. That's why there was such a long pause there. I thought it was running and it wasn't. But anyway, so maybe we'll hear from anyone who was able to listen. Okay, let's go to VK6BQQ. That's Reg in Australia. Reg, come on in, add any closing comments, and we'll pass it to you. Net control to VK6BQQ. We'll give you another try here, Reg. I see you're on the list, which might be away. I might be busy with that future ham. I know that sometimes shows up at your place. VK6BQQ, come on in. Over to you. Okay, nothing good. Maybe Reg will join us later on. Well, let's try KF5HU, and that is Bob. Bob, here, he may be here. I see him on the list. Maybe he's here. Bob, come on in for the 7-3 round. Net control to KF5HU.
Yeah, Brian, good at BA3AZA, KF5HU. Yeah, I was hanging around. I was kind of waiting to see. I was hoping maybe I'd see how your picture experiment went. And yeah, I do want to issue a thanks to John and Robert. Those are the two names that come up whenever ham conference comes on, because when you can get somebody that comes from Canada, goes through Wales down to Australia and comes back in through Canada, that's a pretty good hop. And that network, those are networks that they've been able to put together, amaze me even more nowadays. Oh, and I was going to tell Robert, here in Dallas, excuse me, here in Dallas, they had a drone show on New Year's Eve up over the main tower in downtown Dallas. I don't remember how many it was. It seemed like it was about 250 drones, and they were making images, and they were visible. You could tell what they were. So that was kind of a neat show. Anyway, yeah, I'm going to hang around for a few minutes, and then it's going to be my bedtime, Brian. So great net. I always enjoy catching up and keeping up with what's going on with Mississauga Club. Take care, my friend, and all. V3AZA, K5HQ, 7-3.
Okay, 5HQ, VA3AZA, net control returning. Okay, Bob, always good to hear from you. So yeah, you see, you've experienced the drone as entertainment firm as well. That's really interesting. Yeah, 250. I don't know. I guess I would imagine there's maybe some computer help in doing that, or they're controlled by a computer, the flight path controlled by a computer. I don't know. That's pretty neat. Like I say, I'm not that familiar with it. I've never seen such a thing. Maybe we'll hear more about it as we go along here. Okay, good to hear from you, and hope to hear from you next week as well. Let's see if Don is still here. I don't know if Don's, I can't remember. We didn't get any news on the 5100 there, Don, so sorry about that. Yeah, I wish I could help you. I've just never experimented with that mode on the 5100, so I don't know. It looked like it was straightforward, though. Anyway, we'll pass it over to Don for any 7.3s or comments. Net control to VE3DBN.
Sorry, this is Victor Echo 3, Delta Bravo November, Don in Kleinberg. Can you hear me now?
VE3DBN, VA3A today, net control returning. Yeah, Don, I can hear you. Maybe you had a little trouble with your microphone there. It sounded like it wasn't transmitting there for a bit, but it's fine now. Over to you.
In here. Oh, well, it was just a problem with the fat thumb. Kept missing the spot. As it turns out, it is pretty easy. I'm talking to you. I'm actually transmitting on UHF on 440. And it's cross-transmitting to you on 144.830. So it seems to work, and it's not too bad. So this is the first time I've been able to use it, and I'm quite happy. So that's good. Beyond that, I think you'd have a lot more success with people tuning in and wanting to get your picture if you told them that it was a picture of me in my fluorescent green thong. They probably would be very interested in that. At any rate, I do want to say thank you for doing the net. It's turning into a real international net, and that's good. And I'm very, very pleased with that. But having said that, I'll just wish everybody a good evening, and I trust that everybody and their friends and health and happiness and the time to come. So I'll just pass it back to you and say thank you very much. And this will be Victor Echo 3, Delta Bravo November, Don. Clear.
VE3DBN, VA3A today, net control returning. Okay, Don, excellent. Well, good work on the setup there of the crossband, and that's really neat. Yeah, it's kind of fun. You can walk around the house with the UHF handy talkie, or on the UHF band, dual band, and let the other radio do all the hard work, the heavy listing, and the other antenna system too. I think you have a nice outdoor antenna there, so very neat. Yeah, that's lots of fun. Well, okay. Well, the picture, okay, with the thong thing. Gary, I know, was very worried about that, and he's on my list here, so we'll see what he thinks about that. He may or may not be there. I don't know. He might be listening on YouTube. He plays these tricks on me, Anyway, good to hear from you, Don. And Gary, if you're there, come on in for a 7.3. VA3A today, over to VA3GD set. Okay, nothing heard from VA3GDZ. Let's go down to Brian, VE3XBH. Brian, come on in for a 7.3. Net control to VE3XBH.
VA3AZA, VE3XBH. Brian, I wish I had some fusion gear. I would like to see how the picture turned out, but unfortunately I don't. So I guess I'll just listen along in here if we have a response. But other than that, not much else. Good net tonight, Brian. Just quick hello to Bob and to Reg. Good to hear both of you on tonight. And with that, I'll say 7.3 and throw it back to you, Brian. VA3AZA, VE3XBH.
VE3XBH, VA3A today, net control returning. Okay, Brian, good to hear from you as usual. And maybe someone got it. I'm sure they'll let us know if they did. I was thinking Peter. I know he's got the same radio I have, so if he was listening, he would have been able to catch it. But I haven't seen him and I haven't heard him. So anyway, it's always something we can do. We can do again. I know there's all sorts of good stuff you can try on this thing. You can do You can send messages too, so I might set that up sometime when I do the next net. Good to hear from you. Let's go down to VA3HES, and that is Mark. Mark, come on in for 7-3. Over to you.
VA3HES returning. Good net tonight, Brian. Thanks again for hosting. And yeah, not much to say. As far as crossbanding, I have a 5100 in the car. I've never tried to crossband with it. Though I have a Kenwood 710 here in the shack that I routinely use when I take the kids for a walk. I'll crossband to MIS or one of the other repeaters, and I get pretty good coverage all around the neighborhood here. Well, that's all for now, and maybe I'll echo link in next week. Talk to you soon. 7-3, everyone.
VA3HES, VA3AZA, net control returning. Okay, Mark, good to hear from you. Thanks again for the live stream on YouTube. We really appreciate that. And yeah, I think next week I know you're going to be away, but hey, that's the way it goes. Let's see. That brings us down to VA3KWZ. VA3KWZ. And that is Ken. Let's see if Ken's there. Net control to VA3KWZ. Okay, nothing heard. I didn't think Ken was there. I think he may have had to depart earlier, but I thought I'd give him a try anyway. Let's see, and that brings us to Robert, VK2DY. And Robert, let's pass it over to you. Net control to VK2DY.
Hello again, it's Robert, VK2DY. Well, just a little bit more on the drone show. One of the drone shows they did was, Paramount Plus now has half a dozen different Star Trek shows on it, all brand new. And so they sponsored one of the drone shows. So they did a Star Trek-based drone show the other night, and it was quite spectacular. The Enterprise and a bunch of other ships and all sorts of good stuff that they formed with the drones. So that's one of the topics that they had with the drone show. They have a drone show every night, but they have one every so often. So that one was quite spectacular. Anyway, as I said, I think drones are the future. I think the fireworks are going to be much less. I know this year's New Year's fireworks that are coming up are going to be maybe half drones, half fireworks. They're eventually phasing the fireworks out, I think. But at any rate, thank you for a wonderful net. I won't hold it any longer. I'll just say 73 and see you next week. VK2D.
VK2DY, VA3AZA, net control returning. Okay, Robert, yeah, very interesting. So now I'm going to have to look around for some drone shows. I imagine there probably are some around here, but yeah, that is quite interesting. And I'll have to see if I can catch one to see how this is done. I'm kind of interested in what it might look like. Let's see. Thank you very much for joining us. Always a pleasure to speak with you. And let's see if VK3HJQ, John, is there. Wants to come in for a 7-3. John, over to you. Net control to VK3HJQ.
Thanks, Brian. Just having some lunch over here. 7-3. Thanks for the net. VK3HJQ.
VK3HJQ, VA3AZA, net control returning. Okay, John, good to hear from you, and hope you have a good week. Let's see, I think, we'll see. We'll see if LU1DYE is there. LU1DYE, if you're there, come on in. Net control to LU1DYE. Okay, nothing heard from LU1DYE, and I think, he had a message in the, he had a message in the chat box, and I actually had copied it. I think it was in Spanish. I copied it into the Google Translate just to see what he was communicating. And let's see. Of course, Google Translate is a little bit funny, but I think he was saying, "Sorry not to be able to talk more with someone from a distant QSO." Basically, I think that's what he was trying to say. But hey, that's okay. Don't worry. We'll put in the extra effort, and we'll do some of the work there for you. It's a pleasure to hear from anyone who can join, and we appreciate the effort. Okay, let's see. Let's go to VK2WAY, back to Australia, VK2WAY. If you're still there, come on in.
Yeah, still enjoying the net. Thanks, Brian, and thanks for running it. Victor Kilo 2 Whiskey Alpha Yankee returning to the group, and yeah, enjoyed the net. Thanks for the spoiler there, Robert, VK2DY. Looking forward to our Star Trek drone show if I do make it to Vivid tonight. Weather pending is the current plan. So we'll see how cold it gets or how wet it gets around the harbour, and whether it's suitable for a roller skate. But the video of the drone show from the London, I think it was New Year's Eve show this year. That was one of the best I've seen. I think it was New Year's Eve. So yeah, have a Google for that one on YouTube for those folks interested in seeing pretty awesome drone shows. Told a bit of a story from memory. So that's one of the best ones I've seen video of. But yeah, as Robert said, I'd prefer to look at drone shows than fireworks. On that note, I'll say g'day everybody, and 73s from down under in Sydney. I'm Jared, VK2WAY, handing back to Net Control.
VK2WAY, VE3MIS today, Net Control returning. Okay, excellent. London Drone Show, New Year's. All right, there's something I can check it out. Something I can check out on YouTube and kind of get a sense of what this looks like. Sounds neat. I think Robert T. I think he put the URL right there in the chat box. Very cool. Okay, I'm gonna take a look at that. This is just so intriguing. I'm trying to imagine how so many drones would be coordinated. That's my thing. I just can't. I don't know. So it's like, is it one pilot or is it two pilots on 8 machines, sort of with a computer mediating and looking for trouble if they're getting too close to each other? Very interesting. Anyway, I gotta take a look. Thank you, Robert, for that little pre-programmed usually. Robert says, okay. Okay. Very interesting. That's VK2WAY. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Very, very interesting. Alrighty. Well, I'll take a look at that. Let's go down to VA3WM. John, if you're still there, come on in for 7-3. Over to you. Okay, nothing heard. Don't think John's there. And that brings me to KY4NB. That's Scott. And Scott, if you're there in Memphis, if you're still hanging on there, you're welcome for any closing comments. 7-3, is anything you'd like? We'll pass it over to you. Net Control to KY4NB.
Well, hi there, Brian. This is Scott, KY4NB from Land Elvis and Barbecue. Coming in through Droid Star beta version app on the iPhone and M17. So I don't know. I was on Echo Link earlier, and it sounds a lot better to me on Echo Link. But anyway, I thought I'd try this out. This is supposed to be the wave of the future here. And hope I'm coming in okay there, Brian. On drones, I don't know. They get too many drones around here, and the southern boys will probably, and ladies will probably shoot them out of the sky high, thinking it's target practice. So I don't know how that would work out. People get scared of things flying around, but I'm sure that is the wave of the future, and lots of ham radio people are drone pilots, they say, and have gotten into that. So anyway, thanks for the net tonight, Brian, and everybody, and I've enjoyed listening. I'll say $7-3. Everybody have a good evening. Good rest of your day, wherever you are, and I got to see that video sometime with Robert and them roller skating there. That'll be fun. Back to net, KY4NB.
KY4NB, VE3MIS Net control returning. Okay, Scott, thanks for joining us tonight. Always a pleasure to have people joining us from local reach, I guess, or from across Echolink. Nice to hear you. And I guess there always are some challenges with drones. I guess everyone is having these problems of regulation and trying to figure out what the safe limits are and whether you need a license. And I've kind of lost track of it myself. I knew there was a little bit of a controversy and discussion for a while about licensing and various rules. I think under a certain altitude you don't require any sort of licensing. I'm relatively close to an extremely busy international airport, so I think they're a little tougher around here. Maybe the limits and the altitude are different too. But I guess everyone's dealing with that challenge. Good to hear from you though, Scott. Very nice. Okay, that brings me to the end of my list. Let's see if there's anyone else out there who would like to join us at the end of the Mississauga Amateur Radio Club 2-meter net. And if you're out there, RF, Echolink, anything, and you'd like to join us, come now please with your call sign spelled phonetically followed by your first name. Okay, nothing heard on that last call. I think I got everyone. Yep, okay, looks good. So I guess we'll close her up. Thank you for joining us tonight. If you have any comments, thoughts, or suggestions, you can contact us via email at VE3MIS@RAC.ca. That's Victor Echo 3 Mike India Sierra at Romeo Alpha Charlie Charlie Alpha. This is VA3AZA. Brian, closing the net and returning the repeater to general use. It'll probably hang on for a few more minutes, about 17 minutes or so. If you'd like to use the connection, thank you all for your participation. As usual, it was a pleasure. 7-3.